welcome back to Schwab. Bringing back that little chestnut.
Oh.
Schwab. It'll catch on. Let's just jump right in it, Phelan. I feel like I don't have anything to say before we start. We watched season 2, episode 2, Things to Do in Seattle When You're Dead. So I guess they're just staying in Seattle. That's just their new location. Why did they change states? Because I thought that I misinterpreted. I thought the house was gonna go with them and travel different places, but it seems they just changed their home base just to Seattle for no reason.
Yeah, so they can be near this mini mall. Is what I can take from it so far.
Yeah, but they could have just said that was somewhere where they lived before.
Yeah, but they wanted to do this witness protection angle, I guess, too. So they're like, why not just have them move with the house? I have some questions about the house. They have power, yet they are supposedly magically off the grid. When the house teleported there, did it connect their plumbing to anything?
Their shit's just seeping out from under the house.
Yeah. It's like, if the house is not connected to anything, they can't shower, they can't shit. It's what?
All the foundations cracking, their house is falling apart because it wasn't built on anything.
Yeah, we see lights on though, so they apparently magically are stealing power somehow.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think they had some line about not having power, 'cause they don't have any money, power, resources, nothing. Maybe they just meant their powers.
That's probably what they're talking about. Because we see lights clearly on in Maggie's room.
But it does raise a question. It's so how are they getting power?
Yeah, or running water or plumbing.
Yeah, they must have to pay someone for that, right? Otherwise they're stealing it.
Yeah.
Mel, Maggie, we have our first mission.
She's a witch. Went missing yesterday.
They're coming for us.
Phelan, in a few sentences, can you describe what the plot of this episode was?
Harry and Macy have to save a witch, meanwhile Maggie is an idiot.
That's a pretty good summation, yeah. So they start this episode out with Macy checking herself out in the mirror. Ooh, yeah, I look good. Yeah. And sexy dark Harry shows up.
Mm-hmm. I want us to be together, Macy.
I liked the caption return of pants for Macy.
Pants.
Yeah, sexy vampiric Harry. Ooh, we'll be together. Blah, with his scarf and his
yeah.
Looking very Twilight.
Yeah, it felt pretty Twilighty.
They gotta be together, but he wants her to tell him where she is. Just tell me where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like sexy Freddy Krueger invading her dreams.
Yeah.
Welcome to prime time, Macy.
Yeah, that'll be the next reboot of Elm Street is Sexy Freddy.
Oh my god. Who would play Sexy Freddy? Who's the sexy Freddy Krueger?
I don't know. Who's the guy who plays Jughead now?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm spacing on his name too. Yeah. Sexy Jughead Freddy. Let's do it. That'll be the new CW show.
Hell is your dreams.
It'll just be called Elm Street.
Yeah.
I'm game master, which means it's my game and my rules.
This episode, I think, kind of quashes this theory, but I was thinking by the end of last episode, we didn't have any evidence that it wasn't evil Harry that had taken his place at the end.
Mm-hmm.
because like it could have been like that flashback was just him remembering him getting rid of the other Harry. We didn't see how that scene ended.
Right.
But that would have been some kind of twist that they don't appear to go with, because this episode, I think, pretty definitively says it's not him.
Yeah, because the bad one doesn't know where they are. So.
Yeah, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have been an interesting route to take.
Yeah, that could have been something.
Yeah, it would have been kind of like the, at the beginning of season 1, they had that like, ooh, maybe Harry was evil all along, if they'd kind of followed that plot thread.
Right.
But they don't.
Mm-hmm. You know what, though? You need to give this show a chance.
Yeah, everyone, like, if you don't agree with someone's opinion, they think there's some alternative, like, motivation going on. They're like, you're just big fans of the original series. That's why you're giving it crap. Like, oh, well, you clearly haven't listened to our other podcast then. The thing is, I think we've given it credit when we thought that it was doing well. I just don't think right now it's in a great place.
No. I mean, I think there's some decent aspects to this witness protection angle they're doing, but I don't think the execution is very good in a lot of spots.
Yeah, like, they need to reel us in with something. I don't know. I mean, I think this episode was stronger than the season opener, but it wasn't, I wasn't feeling it that much either.
Yeah, it was middling, I guess, at least as far as the Harry and Macy plot goes. Maggie drove me up the wall again with her plot in this.
Okay, so after Evil Harry shows up in Macy's dream, they reveal it's a dream because she wakes up like, ooh, I was having a sexy dream about Evil Harry. And she decides to check out the Instagram page for the B&B that they were at the end of the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Did they actually show it was Instagram, or it was just like, that you can infer it's Instagram, but
I think you just
can't show the logo.
it. Yeah, I don't think they showed the logo.
Mm.
Yeah, that immediately just made me think of them seeing on Facebook Maggie selfieing herself with, the location tagged. It's just like, you idiot! Which is like essentially what she almost does later in the episode anyway, but it's just like, I
had to show everyone my skinny marks. Everyone, here's my TikTok. I'm going to be singing Walking on Sunshine.
I told Lucy where we are, but don't worry. She can keep a secret.
It's a selfie with Lucy, like, at Lucy in the secret bunker. Hashtag witness protection life.
Yes.
Hashtag blessed.
Or charmed. Hashtag charmed.
Hashtag cancellation demon. So Macy's checking out the B&B Instagram, and she sees a tag about the witches having a niece named Layla, and instantly she's like, oh no, this is another witch, she's gonna be in trouble, so we gotta go find her. Cut to Maggie, also on Instagram. She's more focused on looking up herself, I guess, and finds a picture of her that says R.I.P. Maggie Vera.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they find out that people think they're dead?
Yeah. I was kind of wondering, too, like, what people thought of their house disappearing, but apparently they think it burnt down, but is there any, like, did the house leave fake remains of, like, a burn?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because if the house just disappeared, people wouldn't think it burnt down and, like, magically disintegrated all evidence of it ever being there.
Yeah, that's strange. Like, unless there's some other explanation, like, and they don't even have the elders anymore to, like, say, like, oh, they covered it up.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no
Maybe
one's
it's the
doing
cleaners,
stuff.
they're back.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know. They don't seem to question this either, why they think they just died in a house fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insane. So this house vanished. Oh, it must have burnt down, and I guess they died. Like, that's really quick, too. Like, if the house disappeared and you couldn't find any of the residents. Like, how quick, like, how long have they been gone at this point? Like, maybe a day or two?
A few hours.
Yeah. Well,
Instantly, they're like, they're dead.
yeah, we can't find them. Missing persons? Nah, dead. They're definitely
their neighbors
dead.
were like, we didn't notice a fire.
Yeah.
We looked out and the house was gone.
Whole lot of holes in that.
But I did find something.
What's that?
Another victim.
I do love the Mel's reaction to this, though. This should be a huge deal. Like, Maggie's like, oh my god, we're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mel's like, yeah, and then tosses her phone into some water. And dead girls don't text.
I'd say that was a really stupid move on Mel's part, but it is Maggie, so she probably was about to say, OMG, we're in Seattle.
I love that's her immediate reaction is like, oh, we're dead. Yeah! Chucks her phone into the water.
Didn't look like it wrecked it either. It looked like it was fine.
Yeah, it might have been. They're getting pretty good with the water resistance in some of these phones now.
Mm-hmm.
She probably fished it out,
Probably.
dried it off with her
I mean, they're all
hair.
using devices later in this episode anyway. They're on the computer and they're using pads and stuff.
Yeah, they'd have to be pretty far off the grid if they wanted to not be tracked down by technology. Like, just forget magic, just like technology alone, like anyone could track you down if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everyone thinks they're dead, so they have no reason to track them down.
What are they getting internet on though? Like, did the house bring Wi-Fi with them? And like, what?
They're leeching it off of safe space. They go to the cafe in there.
That would make more sense if they really did have to, but we see them using their computers at the house. So, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
like,
how far are they away from safe space in the house? Did they establish
think
where this alley is that they appeared in?
I don't think it's right beside it, so I don't think it's close enough for them to leech Wi-Fi at home. But
This area that their house is in, like, does no one ever walk there? Like, what if someone just runs into their house and finds it?
yeah, I don't know.
It just seems like in a populated city, like in the middle of where they're at, this is like not a good place to hide your magical cloaked house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like in an empty lot, which looks like they might develop at some point, so I don't know what happens then.
Oh man, I hope one episode just opens up with like a bulldozer just plowing through their house.
Wow, wow.
Runs over Harry, of course. No luck,
Yeah.
Harry.
Oh boy. I should have known.
Oh, bollocking tit sauce.
Oh, bother. It doesn't matter anyway.
You know that Harry Potter puppet pals? That's relevant, right? Bother, bother, bother. That's such a hip reference. Oh my god.
Yeah, more hip than Eeyore, I guess.
Eeyore was in Potter Puppet Pals, right? This episode was very social media heavy at the beginning. They go from like the Instagram to like TikTok, which appears to have some sort of sponsorship, or at least they gave them permission because they clearly show the TikTok logo.
Right,
When
yeah.
they're looking at the niece's TikTok, and I love this juxtaposition here, like this exchange, like one after the other. So they're watching the girl on TikTok. And she's like, let's find out if I'm a vest person. Whoa, she's like goofing around. And then she's like, nothing would be complete on here without a cheese puff challenge. And then cut to Macy. She's a witch. that means she's a witch. The cheese puff challenge.
She's a witch. Went missing yesterday.
What is the cheese puff challenge?
I've never heard of this. Is this real?
She's
I
just
don't
gonna
go on
eat a bun of
TikTok.
Cheetos.
I think this is a
Whoa.
perfect time. This is the perfect time for Peter to drop in. How do you do, fellow kids? 'Cause
How do you do, fellow kids?
I don't know. Are we old, or is this the show being out of touch? then they start watching a news segment. I don't know if this was next to the TikTok. I don't know. There was just some news segment that they find about this niece gone missing. And then they show this security footage of this van and the large rat man. And they say that she was last seen with him. Why are you making a face? Did you look up the cheese puff challenge?
I looked up cheese puff challenge. All I see is videos about people eating a bunch of cheese puffs.
Well, I mean, I imagine it has to do with eating cheese puffs.
Yeah, but I just mean trying to eat a lot. I mean, I guess there's nothing weird about it.
Well, what do you think they're doing? Cramming it up their ass? Or
I don't know. I wanted to know what it was. Like, is it really anything other than just eating a bunch of them? But that's all I see.
Is it like when you eat as many saltines as possible? Like, you think it's easy, but it dries out your mouth?
Maybe. There's one guy in a bathtub full of cheese balls. That's something.
That'll be our next episode of Schwab. We'll just bathe in cheese puffs. Okay, so they see this video, this security cam footage of the giant rat man, and I guess he's not concerned about them looking for him on the news and like in relation to this disappearance. He doesn't seem too worried about it.
Yeah, because
the
he's
demons
don't
like, seem worried about
could
the real world.
Dear rat boy.
Well, we can't forget him, but he certainly forgets a lot. He seems to not recognize anyone he should in this episode. Maggie sees this footage and zooms in and enhances.
Yeah, that was so stupid. Like, this is just news footage. And she just zooms right into this logo on his bumper.
Is it like a bumper sticker?
Yeah, it's a bumper sticker.
Like my rat man is an honor student bumper sticker?
Uh-huh. She zooms it in, it's like the Super 7 logo thing, and she's like...
Why would you...
She zooms it in, like, yeah, this is a bumper sticker for a demon club, which...
A secret demon club? He's putting a bumper sticker on his car? Why?
Maggie, like, zooms in enhance and then crops it and then reverse image searches and finds a picture of the entrance of the club, which does not resemble this picture at all. It's just like, that's not how reverse image search works. It's not going to bring that up.
Half the time when you do an reverse image search, it's like, I want to find this. And they're like, oh, you mean these last known photographs of some people that vaguely might kind of... What?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sometimes you get some weird results, but it's not going to give you something like, oh yeah, this logo's within this picture. It's like, that's highly unlikely.
Why would they have that in the Google image search too? This is a club where they're openly doing magic outside of it. It's not like it's like disguised in any way to be anything else but a demon club.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Seventh Circle Club, by the way. It's a 7 with some circles. Really, really clever.
Yeah. It's the Circle K Club.
Yeah. It's not as bad as in Sleepy Hollow. You remember they had an episode
Club
where they go to
Twerk.
Club Twerk?
Yeah.
Fucking love Club Twerk.
Uh-huh.
So they decide they're going to go to safe space to get into their bunker to go searching for answers, I guess.
Yeah, we find out they can't get into their little magic bunker until the mini mall's open. And this was weird too, because they're waiting by a back entrance, like Mel and Maggie are, and then that Swan girl comes out. Oh, I should say woman. Don't want to call her a girl. They'll have a rant about it.
They're women, not girls.
Swan opens the door and goes, welcome to safe space. Like, why is she opening the back door? Like, why are they at the back door anyway? You think when they're opening the mall, more likely you'd be at the front. That's probably where they're going to open first.
Why the fuck would the elders create a magical hideout that you couldn't access outside of mall hours?
It's so stupid.
So some people were saying this wasn't a mall. Like, they're calling it something else, but it's basically what it is. It's like a shopping center. You go in there, there's all the stores. Oh,
what else you
it's a mall to me.
Yeah, looks like a little mini mall thing to me. Like,
it's just like a mini mall.
What else do you call a big building you go in and there's a bunch of stores?
Yeah. Like, there's that little magic shoppy thing or whatever you want to call it, or natural herbs and spices / magic store, whatever it
the
is.
KFC recipe with all the herbs and spices.
Yeah, there's a coffee shop, there's a gym, like looks like a little mini mall to me.
Yep. So they can't get in, and Harry can't orb in because ever since he absorbed that poison, his powers are wonky. It is kind of weird hearing him say his powers are wonky. It doesn't seem like a very Harry line, does it?
Yeah.
It did seem a little weird.
They're all bullocked up.
So because they can't get in there, they can't use their portal to get to the Seventh Circle Club. So Harry and Macy decide to go on a road trip.
Yeah.
What, I feel like we should call this episode some variation on this, like Harry and Macy go to White Castle, or
Yeah.
Harry and Macy and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Is that anything?
I don't know.
Harry and Macy's awesome road trip.
Mhm.
So they decide to go out, and the others have to stay behind because they're,
The
as
B
Mel
team.
says, dead weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the B team.
The B team. Yeah, that's part of Mel's Plus episode, complaining that she's part of the B team. It's like, yeah, but it's pretty apt, isn't it? It's like, it's funny the show's even calling it out. Now it's like, yeah, Mel and Maggie, they're the B team.
Yeah, like they're like, you can stay on the sidelines, because like, I mean, it's not like they weren't doing this before. Like, it was always like Macy was doing everything, and they're sidetracked with their own problems, which is what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Macy and Harry are on their road trip, and Harry's like complaining about driving, like as if he is not used to it anymore. Like, we saw him taking an Uber in the alternate dimension timeline, whatever. I don't think that. And besides that, like, I mean, he had to have driven some just like for appearances.
Mm-hmm.
When he's pretending to be a normal guy.
But he's saying like it's barbaric. He says something weird about driving on the right side of the road.
Yeah, he's like, I find the right side of the road utterly barbaric.
Yeah.
How long has he been in the States, though? Like, I feel like he's been there at least since he died, right? Like, it's been a while.
Maybe
not.
I guess we don't know where all his charges were, but
yeah, that's true. Maybe he's been all over the place, but he should be used to not being in England all the time by this point.
yeah, you'd think.
Macy, meanwhile, is dealing with all of her repressed sexual feelings for Dark Harry. And when they're in the car, like, she's like, hey, let's put the radio on. And then, like, some love songs start playing, and she just turns it off awkwardly. If I can say anything, like, I didn't mind those parts of the episode. Like, at least it was doing some character stuff, and, like, they're some of the better characters in the show, so.
Yeah. Like, I wish... I mean, for their chapter in this episode, it was alright. Like, I like it when Harry and Macy go off now, because they're the two best characters in the show at this point.
Well, and also, like, this love story they're developing, it feels more earned, because at least we've known these characters now, and they know each other, and, like, they're building on something rather than just introducing characters for the purpose of being love interests.
Yeah, and we've seen
they have
some...
the other two at the mall, and they're just doing nothing of interest.
Yeah, we've seen these two, like, have some genuine emotional moments between them before, which seemed pretty, they weren't, like, sexually charged in any way, but you believe it might develop there eventually.
You happy to see me?
What are you doing here? What do you want?
Yeah, I wish that they had not slammed into it so quickly this season. I wish they'd like eased into it a bit more, but I don't mind the idea of them being together, because at least we can see this develop. They have a reason for interacting other than like meet cute moments.
Yeah. Yeah, the other two's relationships is just like, it's painful. And it's just like, why do the other two both have to have a love interest at the same mini mall?
What if there's a part later in the episode where Maggie puts in an application to work at the mini mall, and like, wouldn't it be hilarious if she was just working on at a hot dog on a stick or something? And then, like, you know, she can hang out with her boxer boyfriend and then like wear her giant hot dog hat and
yeah. Then she can make the Maggie Protection Agency, and she can go and beats working at a hot dog stand.
How do you... God. No one's gonna get that VIP reference. Even I was like, yeah, what? Oh, I see. I see what you did.
She's about as vapid as her in that show.
Oh my God, that seems unfair. At least Sarah Jeffrey shows up for the shoot, unlike Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
We didn't see any terrible like stand-ins.
I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the character of Maggie.
That's true. You could see Maggie showing up in like feather boas and giant swan wigs. Oh my God, if they had that. Okay, so there's an episode of VIP where like Pamela Anderson's character, Val, she dies, or they think she's dead, and then they show like a picture of her on screen, like gone too soon, and all these like flashes, and one of them was a picture of her in this stupid swan wig, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she, like, at one point in the, like, I can't stress enough how much in VIP she would just walk in fucking the dumbest outfits in the world, and they would never explain them, and she'd be like, without context, just walks into the club wearing a wig shaped like a swan, just to have a conversation. Like, that's normal.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that. Like, that's how Maggie finds out that she's dead and then gone too soon, Maggie Vera. She's like, her hair is shaped like cat ears to go with the leopard theme.
Yeah, seems on brand.
Oh, so Mel and Maggie get inside. Mel's complaining because she's part of the A team, at least A-. She's not part of the B team. And they go to the big bunker, and Mel finds a big root that she says could help them recreate the Book of Shadows. Some sort of mandrake or something.
No, she said she can make an invisibility thing with it because she learned about it from the Book of Shadows.
Oh, I thought she said it could help them recreate it.
No.
Oh, I misheard that completely.
No, she's like, oh yeah, I remember reading in the Book of Shadows I can make an invisibility potion with this.
So they destroyed it, but she can just say like, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's like, I just need a few other ingredients from that witch doctor's store at the mall.
While she's doing that exposition, Maggie is online and finds their dad's obituary.
He's dead. No. Dad's dead.
Wah, wah. What social media site do you think that was with the obituaries?
Oh, is that on another social media site?
No, I'm just making up one. Like, what would be a
Oh.
dumb social media site for obituaries? Like, my obituary space.
Yeah. That's pretty much MySpace at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, MySpace is the place. It's basically a graveyard, so it makes sense it would have obituaries.
Like, MySpace's logo, I don't know if they still did it this way, but at one point it was just my and then an actual space, which is kind of like, you know, just the hole in the ground, 6 feet deep.
Oh my God. She goes to the MySpace page for the dad's obituary, and then it's got like a song embedded on the page that instantly plays and you can't avoid.
Yeah.
From her dad's band.
Yeah. Can I borrow a feeling?
Can I borrow a feeling? Could you lend me a jar of love?
Harry's like, can I borrow a feeling? Shut up, Harry. Oh, it's me, Doc Harry. I can laugh at your dad's death.
Yeah. Go ahead, laugh at me, Harry. I already did.
My bed's a car, Harry. Is yours?
I sleep in a big bed with your sister.
Whoa!
That's how we're gonna reveal it to you.
Oh my god!
Hurry out!
Yes! The Veras. Dun, 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 dun. We're not. We're just going everywhere. We're jumping around as much as this episode. I think I had to condense some of this because like they just go like poo, 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 like between scenes constantly, but it's really only like 2 scenes and 2 stories basically that we're following through this whole thing.
Yeah, for the most part. So it's like, you immediately know that, like, from what Maggie's saying, she's whining. She's got like this kind of fake memory of her dad being a better person than he ever really was because she was young and kind of dumb, and Mel had to kind of make up for it since she was the bigger sister. She did some stuff like when he flaked on her, she would like bring an apology note and stuff and try to make it better. But anyway, you know immediately that stupid Maggie's going to try and go to this funeral and endanger everyone, breaking their witness protection stuff in Seattle.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, at least they acknowledge that she's supposed to be
An idiot.
young and dumb. Like, yes, an idiot. But unlike Phoebe just running into the the charms on the tree and after being told not to, it was at least, like a character.
Even Mel tells her, like, you can't go there. That will put us all in danger. Because
Sure.
she knows she's thinking about it. And, like, stupid Maggie just doesn't listen. And then she runs off and does it later. And you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I think like what they were going for here, and they say as much in the episode, a lot of the theme for their part of the episode is growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they're tying that into the fact that they're not in school anymore. They're not they're taking care of themselves. Their mom's dead. Their dad's dead, though he didn't take care of them. But they're basically having to make it on their own now and take charge and protect all these other witches. And Maggie's the youngest of them. She was 19 when the show started. She's 20 now. So I at least see kind of what they're doing, and at least with this story here, I did like one of the better episodes from last season was the Christmas one where they talk about their dad, and they're having the Christmas party, and Maggie invited their dad and expected him to show up, and of course he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
This expanded on that, and I didn't mind that aspect of the story where they they're talking about their dad, and Maggie's feeling super guilty about it. She thinks that because he thought that they were dead, that's what triggered his heart attack. And she is talking about how great their dad is, and Mel's like, no, he was a big loser. It's like, well, dad was the one who got me this like ballerina music box, and he was like, you didn't see all the good things that he did for us. And by the end of the episode, that's when Mel reveals that the music box wasn't from their dad at all. Like, he had promised on her 7th birthday to take her to a ballet. He didn't show up. And so Mel and their mom both felt super bad about it. So got her this music box, wrote this note saying it was from him. He went on a business trip. So everything that she thought about their dad was a lie this whole time, basically.
Maggie has a real dunce moment, though. Like when Mel tells her, like, I got you the music box and put the note up there from him to you. And she goes, why would you do that for him if you hated him so much? She's like, I did it for you. It's like, oh, who knew? She did it for her. Like, come on, Maggie.
Yeah. But, Mel got her that free latte. They were giving out samples.
Ginger matcha latte something. They're giving free samples.
I mean, I would like it better if, like, Maggie felt like she really wanted to be there, but in the end made the smart decision and didn't because it was going to put everyone in jeopardy. And, like, it might not even just be her life on the line. It might be putting her sister's lives on the line if whoever's after them's able to extract information out of her. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah. I mean...
And, like, that's, like, one of the hot spots. If someone's looking for you, they're probably going to be looking at a relation's funeral for you to show up.
Yeah, but they aren't looking for them.
What?
They think they're dead, but they aren't looking for them. They think they're dead.
Well, not the person after them. And he showed up, didn't he?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right, Phelan. You were paying more attention than I was. No, that's very true. I mean, I think the character's allowed to screw up, so I didn't mind that as much, as long as they
I just thought it
acknowledge
was
that
a
it's
really
screw-up.
dumb one, and she knew it was a dumb idea, and she was told it was a dumb idea, and then she did it anyway.
Sure. I particularly liked when Mel's like, Dad was a loser. When are you gonna grow up?
Yeah.
And then Maggie's like, "Ee!" and then runs off to the boxing gym and just starts like hilariously half-assedly punching like a punching bag in her mini skirt and booties.
This is so bad. It'd been better if she like hit it and then it like flew back and knocked her over.
She was so bad at it. It was really funny.
Yeah. And then her little boyfriend at the mall, after she gets knocked out by the punching bag, can come in and ring a bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, Boxy McBoyfriend does show up, and he's just trying to figure out her name, like, while he's asking for the first aid kit back that she didn't give back. Like, she was so offended that he would think she was trying to take advantage of him. Like, I'll give it back, and then didn't.
Yeah, she goes, I still owe you a first aid kit, I know. And it was like, what? Why didn't you give it back? You didn't use everything in it, did you? What?
Oh, by the way, I need some money for medical bills now. Oh, I knew it! The same old grift.
I'm gonna sue you. Your punching bag knocked me out.
She didn't even... She's a punching bag chaser. She, so she's talking to him, and he doesn't know her name. Like, she never told him her name during any of this. And he calls her a girl, and she gets super offended, tying into the demon mom saying that they're women.
Yeah, it was pretty...
Like, I'm a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, it was like that same
I'm 20
speech.
years old.
It's like, okay, if he was doing it condescendingly, the way they like to bring up, like, the way they're acting about it, but it's just like, he just referred to her as a girl, and then...
Yeah, I didn't think it was, like, in a condescending way. Like, I wouldn't personally find that offensive.
No.
I mean, context, I think, changes everything, but just saying
the
girl
context
and, like,
is
right.
everything with that. It's like, if he's being a condescending prick, then yeah, have at him, but like, it just felt like the show trying to think it was clever again by throwing that stuff in, rather than making sense.
Yeah, I think maybe part of it, if I'll try and give the show some credit, I think she was just being overly defensive because she was being told to grow up.
Yeah, it tied into at least her emotional state somewhat, but it's also just because the show has done this before, unearned. I feel like it's also that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it fit better than the mom. The
demon mom.
They're women,
yeah,
not
the best
girls.
thing was that it wasn't even really their mom. It's the demon.
I know. It was so good. So she opens up a portal, takes off to her dad's funeral. Macy and Harry are on their road trip, and they almost hit a girl who runs out in front of the car and faints. So Harry tries to heal her, and she has been poisoned by the same poison Macy had. So he's taking more of the poison in, and Macy's telling him not to do it, but he's like, I'm a white lighter, this is what I do.
The last time you took on that poison, when you healed me, it compromised you. Who knows what this will do to you?
She's a witch. I'm a white lighter. This is what I do.
When this happened, though, they did that classic, TV and movie thing where Harry's about to tell Macy that he saw himself under the cloak, and then, she ran out in front of the car, and that stops that conversation. I'll give them credit.
It's not important to let them know.
Yeah. I'll give them credit, though. They do eventually tell each other in this episode, so they're not dragging it out forever.
Yeah, they do find out through the episode. I think they were trying to drive home the point here that they cared about people living or dying, because Harry, is desperately trying to save this girl, and she's like, the seventh circle's gonna get Layla, bye.
I kind of wonder why he couldn't heal her, like what was going on? Was there demon poison or something in her? Like,
yeah, it was the same demon poison that Macy had. Yeah,
Oh.
And so he was taking on more of the damage, and he was still weakened from the first time anyway. So, yeah, it was that. That's why he couldn't heal her.
All right. fine.
And I guess, I guess he could heal Macy because he was at full power then, but now he's not.
He
That-
still
that's
has
not
to have
main
some more
character.
demon poison shits to get rid of that
Yeah.
in their
He's-
non-plumbing house.
Macy's like, wait, it's not a main character. He's like, oh, okay. And the day is saved.
What if the demon overlord was Phoebe?
Do you think I care about anyone's expectations?
Oh my god, please do this, new Charmed. Please. Please do that. You know what's hilarious? People were telling me about that Grey's Anatomy they just did with Holly Marie Combs and Alyssa Milano.
They're sisters.
They're sisters. Apparently, it seems almost like a parody of Charmed in that. Well, I mean, it clearly is a reference to that, but they're just complaining all the time, and then their third sister is in a coma, and then like she ends up dying, and it turns out it's some stranger that wasn't even their sister or something. So, I think they killed her. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm like, this sounds amazing. Spoilers. I don't know. Does anyone care? Is anyone still listening?
Yeah. I give up on this podcast.
I give up. They're not even fucking talking about what's happening. Hey, you know what else I want to talk about? There's an ad they've been playing with some golden retrievers, like an army of golden retrievers in cars trying to get wieners. Like they go hot dog wieners. So it'd be a different kind of ad. So there's all these golden retrievers driving, and then they go to like a wiener stand and eat it, and it just seems delightful.
They're still playing that what is it, Circle show?
The Secret Circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently this is something from like 2011 that they've been advertising because of the CW Seed app or something.
Yeah, it's still so weird though that they're putting commercials on here for like a one season canceled show like that old. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Is this
like,
a show anyone
Charmed,
cares about?
They're like, if you like Charmed, this seems like something you'd be into. Both of them are going to be very short-lived.
Yeah. If you love shows that get canceled with probably plot lines unresolved.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I guess it wasn't supposed to be like Riverdale so much as Vampire Diaries, which was the big thing at the time when it came out. So I guess CW just has this tendency to just whatever's on, kind of everything sort of homogenizes into itself.
Yeah. Snake biting its tail.
Mm-hmm. So Mel needs some more ingredients for this invisibility cloak. Mel Potter needs an invisibility cloak. And so she needs some more ingredients. So she goes to the witch shop to steal some stuff and sees McGirlfriend.
Yeah, this confused me too. Like, they have no money anywhere in their house. Like, why?
Yeah, maybe they just didn't have any cash on them and they can't use their credit cards because they're dead now.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess I'd believe that.
I get why they wouldn't want to use their cards anyway, because that would leave a trail in some way. But I would think they would have some cash somewhere around the house. That's kind of nuts.
I don't know. I mean, how much cash do you have lying around your house? Tell everyone in the audience.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could tell you right now, like, I have less than $20 on me, like, in cash. So, like, I think a lot of people don't have that. It's in their bank somewhere. Right?
Well, the majority of it, yeah. But I think it's good to have some around in case you need it.
They spent it all on skinny margs. Yeah, well, how does Maggie apply for a job if she doesn't have an identity? Did they come up with new identities?
Yeah.
Or is this like, is Safe Space kind of like, on the down low, like they'll just hire anyone?
I don't know.
Because they can take advantage of them, they can pay them below minimum wage. They're like, we're going to pay these illegal aliens just super low wages.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about it. What are you going to do? We're going to report you.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sinister stuff happening at Safe Space.
Didn't make a lot of sense, yeah, that they can apply without identities. And Maggie's just giving her name out as Maggie, so...
Yeah, they're not hiding her identities at all. So when Mel sees McGirlfriend, she immediately, like, knows that she's stealing stuff. And she's like, will that be cash or charge? And you need to, maybe you don't believe in this witch stuff, but I sort of have a sense, and I think you need this more than me. And lets her have it anyway.
Yeah. Because if you do it again, though, I'll put a hex on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mel's like, I'm going to put a sex on you. And then they start banging in the store.
That's for the porn parody. The St. Charm 2018 XXX.
Yeah.
I don't get, why she thinks Mel doesn't believe in this stuff, but she's stealing herbs. Does she think she needs it for her cooking, or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does she think she's stealing spell ingredients for? She doesn't believe in witch stuff.
Silly.
So Macy and Harry end up at the Seventh Circle Club, and they see all of the people going to the club, this demon club, and these are all the descendants of all the demon bloodlines. The 1%ers of the demon world is what they call them. So all the head people. Oh my god.
This reminded me of that, was it that backdoor pilot and Charmed, the demon families kind of thing?
I was literally just gonna bring that up. Yeah. Fucking okay. So in Supernatural season, was it 11 or 10? Somewhere.
I don't know. It was 27.
Anyway, they had a bad backdoor pilot that was called Bloodlines, and one of the ads they had for it's like, Chicago's controlled by 5 monster families. These stupid, hoity-toity rich vampires and werewolves and whatever. I don't know. I'm making it sound better than it was. And they had fucking Anus or whatever his name was.
Right.
It was looking for his dad, and it just looked like garbage. But this is what this reminded me of. All the hoity-toity rich demons that are running things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sign of a good show, when it's reminding you of a backdoor pilot of Supernatural.
Yeah. It's like Harry and Macy go, we can't get in there the way we are dressed right now, so we're gonna glamour ourselves. But they don't, because she has a glamour potion or something. That's how they do this. But
yeah, I think she said that Mel also made that one.
Right, okay. But it's they don't glamour themselves to look like other people. They just glamour themselves to look like themselves, wearing different clothing and hairstyles slightly.
They're just wearing black. This is totally OG Charmed. Because they would do that, when the demons took over the magic school, their Harry Potter magic school.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just a bunch of people in black club outfits. Yeah. And then, all the main characters seem to recognize this as the demon attire. Oh, why are you dressed like a demon? Oh.
Yeah. And you're Harry's popped open shirt.
Why did they need a spell to change outfits?
It is stupid.
They knew that they were going to a demon club. Why didn't they just put on black outfits?
Yeah, just
don't understand this.
Stop by a Goodwill and get some black clothes real cheap. I guess they don't have any money. But where'd they get the car and stuff?
It might have been there. Maybe it went with the house. I don't know. Yeah, it's true.
They have money for gas and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's all falling apart. For a moment, I was thinking with the glamour thing, they're the fact that they put the glamour spell on and they're just dressed differently. And then when Macy goes to the front of the club, the rat guy's there as a bouncer and doesn't. Dear old rat boy doesn't recognize her. For a moment there, I'm like, is this a Quantum Leap situation? They look like other people, but we just see them? Maybe, they look in a mirror and they look like demons or something. But no, it's just them, as far as I know. They didn't say any different.
No, they apparently just looked like themselves. He just didn't recognize her with her hair back like that.
She just had different hair?
Yeah. He must be face blind. I don't know.
Yeah, dear old rat boy. Face blind. Yeah, it doesn't, and they have to conserve their spells and their powers to the bare minimum too, because they have limited supplies and they just use it to change their outfits. It's just the most pointless thing.
It's so silly. They should have done the Quantum Leap thing though, looked at themselves in the reflection on the car or something.
Yeah, they did that in original Charmed when they were also pretend dead. They blew up in a big house fire.
Yeah.
They had reflections that looked like the personas they were taking on, so you knew how they looked to everyone else, but you still had the actresses there.
Yeah.
That was
Harry, they're doing a blood check to get in the club, though. So Harry's like, "That won't work for me. Don't."
Testing for demon blood. I can't pass. We need to find some other way in.
There's no time. I've got demon blood.
No. Yeah, he has to stay out there. Macy can get in because she has demon blood. I wanted to point out real quick because I don't have a fashion segment for this, but I just have one outfit I very much appreciate, and that is Macy's evil outfit. Like, she's got like the all black with the blazer and the corset and the large silver necklace and then like the high ponytail and the dark lipstick.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yeah, I can get behind this.
I did also appreciate like Harry's demon costume with his like popped open shirt.
Oh yeah, and then she thinks that he looks similar to like the sexy dark Harry, and like, ooh.
Yeah.
She's got to hide her lady boner. Oh, and she's giving him a look too, and he notices this, and she's like, "Oh, you remind me of a Harry I saw in a dream. I mean, a guy like you in a dream. There's a guy like you that I saw in a dream."
Yeah, they explain it to each other though, eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's nice that they aren't just keeping these secrets like through episodes and episodes. I'm glad at least Harry and Macy come clean with each other, and Harry tells her that, yeah, what he saw of that demon that tried to kill them was him.
Yeah, but it also seems like the fact that he looks exactly like him, they could have taken advantage of that more before the secret's out.
Oh yeah, maybe. They probably could have.
Like, it just seems like...
But I'm glad, like, at least if you have these characters that know this, he's not just holding on to it for forever. So that would have been annoying.
That's true. Especially when it could put them in danger, so...
Yeah.
Especially, like, and he's supposed to be protecting them, so...
Yeah. I get that, like, he was working out in his head. And that's why he didn't really say anything first. It was still kind of a bad move, but... I understood it better than I understand Maggie being an idiot.
Speaking of that, so Mel is making this this invisibility potion just in a cafe at the mall.
Yeah, well, like, why is she allowed in the back of the cafe? Like, she's by the blenders and stuff.
Oh, I thought it was like by the counter where, you know, you would get like coffee and pastries and stuff, like, you know, when you're at a hotel and it's serve yourself kind of thing. But
yeah, I thought maybe that, but there's like blenders and stuff back there with her, so I'm like, this just looks like maybe it's the back of where they make the food at this place, so why is she back there? Like,
yeah, just snuck in. They have a hideout and a house.
Yeah.
They have two different options she could do to like go make her potion.
The hideout is at the mall. Like, just go there and then you have privacy instead of like turning apples invisible in public.
Well, and right after she makes it, she goes back to the hideout. So why didn't she just go there first? And she goes there, and Maggie has left her laptop open, and it says, like, you know, where she was going.
Mm-hmm.
So she realizes that she went to the funeral. Damn it, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
So Maggie is at their dad's funeral. Evil Harry shows up, and it's obviously Evil Harry, but he's wearing an old Harry suit to disguise himself.
Yeah.
And she immediately clocks him. Like, she's like, who are you? What are you? You're not Harry.
Yeah, I don't really get how she got to, like, figure this out that quick. It's kind of...
He was giving off vibes. I think they were trying... I mean, I would think he was maybe possessed or something before jumping to it's something else entirely.
Yeah.
But they did deal with Hunter before, and he was a shapeshifter, so maybe... Maybe that was the idea.
It seemed more competent than I'm used to with her.
I thought it was kind of interesting when she, like, hugs him, and he's got that, like, really uncomfortable vibe, like, don't like this. Don't like this hug.
Yeah, but, like, near the end, he kind of, like, it's almost like he accepts it very briefly at the end
I
of
do
it.
wonder if, like, how much of this is actually Harry, like, if this is a future version of him, or what, like, it would be an interesting dynamic to explore, you know, what humanity is there with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that means anything or if that's just a moment there.
Yeah.
It does seem like, I mean, obviously he cares about Macy, so maybe he wants to convert all of the girls. I don't know.
Oh,
well, he does try to kill Maggie,
Yeah.
so I guess he doesn't really.
Mhm.
He takes out a knife, but Invisible Mel shows up with a shovel and hits him over the head, and they portal out.
Which is the only reason why Maggie does not die here.
That's true. Yeah.
So she very easily could have just died right here. It's like, I was so annoyed. It's just like, man, she should die here.
If they survived into a third season, and I don't think so, like, do you think, like, eventually one of the actresses would leave and they'd have to kill her off?
No. Depends
I
on
think
how.
this is one of those shows that'll, like, it'll keep going beyond when it should, and then, like, the sisters start just, like, dying off.
I don't know if they'll have time for that. I don't know how long they have on their contracts, too. Like, if the show's renewed, if they have them locked up for however many seasons.
Who knows? They get a message on the big Dora's big map that tells them where a clue is. And Layla and Macy are in danger, so they better go. And this is after Mel bitches Maggie out rightfully for making her waste some of her serum, putting them in danger, generally being reckless. This is when she tells her about the story with the music box and the ballet and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie has some harsh realizations.
Mm-hmm.
Macy gets into the club by passing the blood test, and what the subtitles describe as vagrant demon. He goes over like, "What are you doing? What do you think you're doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I passed the test." And he's like, "Oh, well, you gotta put this bracelet on. No powers in the club."
Yeah.
They have a strict no power rule in the club.
Powers bracelet.
I passed the test.
Which means you win the prize. No powers in the club.
Did they use a, like, no power bracelet before? I feel like that's something they used in season 1 for something.
Did they? I don't know.
Something like, I don't know. This seems familiar.
It's amusing to me. It's just like a admittance bracelet, but it's also a no powers bracelet thing.
Yeah, because it's just a club. I do like that the demons have rules about that. Like, they don't want any rowdy behavior in the club where they're going to sacrifice someone.
Yeah. I like the demons also have the red and blue lighting going on in their club.
Heck yeah. It's so that Macy can walk while sexy music plays through the club. I do love this moment. So Harry's waiting outside the club, trying to orb out, but he just keeps like having little farts, you know.
Yeah.
I can't make it.
Poison farts.
Yeah. And Invisible Mel and Maggie attack him. They're like, "How do we know that you're really Harry?" Because he looks like the evil Harry in a sexy outfit. And he recites the ingredients for their mom's coquito recipe. Mom's coquito recipe. It has to be him.
It's gonna be great,
though.
Know
that.
If like the bad guy is just Harry from the future, then he might know that too.
Yeah, or like he could have just been possessed. They don't know that it's not Harry.
Yeah. Like, we don't know that this isn't some weird alternate version of him from time or even different dimension, which I guess we already know there's different dimensions if that's what happened in the finale of the first season, so.
Maybe he's a holdover from Macy fucking around with time and dimensions and stuff.
Yeah.
That could be something. Oh, here was another all-time classic Charm 2018 line. They in the club, they got Layla like up on she's all like up in the middle of a stage, like they're getting ready to kill her, and this MC comes up and he goes, "Greetings, demon scum."
I think there's some in the crowd who kind of looked offended when he said that. Like, what?
Demon scum? I just came here to party and have a good time.
I did not come to this club to be offended. Good day, sir.
Puts on his hat and scarf and leaves. He is giving all of the exposition for what they're trying to do. He's like, we're trying to raise our demon overlord, and we're gonna kill all the witches, and then unite demons supporting demons.
Yeah.
But not everyone's on board with this.
Yeah, there's a silly moment though of Macy when she looks at like where Layla is. She's like covered up by a sheet first, and she looks at this and goes, Layla, and then they uncover it and show it's Layla, and she's like, like, you already knew that was pretty much her, and then they showed it was her, and you're surprised. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't understand that. But not everyone's on board with this plan. One guy is just like, yeah, the Demon Overlord's so great. He'd show up. He'd show his face. I'm out of here. This is stupid. They're like, all right, fine, whatever, man.
Me and my friends are going home. Takes his little posse with him.
What if Parker was in the crowd? Awkward. Yeah, I went full evil again.
Mel's like, I knew it smelled like stale Doritos and white privilege in here. Of all the demons in here, you're the worst.
He's sitting there with his guitar like, I took a few lessons and I was super bad at it. So I decided to go evil again. Now I just carry this as a grim reminder of what could have been. You smashed your ukulele, Parker. That's right.
Listen to this. A, B, C, D.
And then they all kill him, and then Macy's like, you know what? You guys aren't so bad after all. Yeah. And then they have a toast.
Maybe we're not that different after all.
They step on top of him. That's it. Sexism is over.
Demon wars are done.
Yeah. Unite against a common enemy.
We apologize about the killing of the White Lighters thing.
And the day was saved.
The demon though does mention, he's like, yeah, we're pretty much in the clear here. You know, the elders are dead, the charmed ones are dead. I was like, what about the White Lighters? Aren't the ones that you guys actually killed?
Well, yeah, I think that the elders was kind of their coverall for that.
I don't know. They seem like they're sort of different things, but all right.
They are different things, but I think that's generally what I...
Yeah, but the elders were already wiped out from the other thing, and White Lighters still existed, so they were kind of a different...
Yeah. Generally, he just means witches it's a free-for-all.
Mm-hmm. I just thought it was weird he didn't mention the thing that them as a group actually killed.
That's true. They should take credit for that one.
Yeah.
Macy seizes on the thing that other guy says to try and buy some time for Layla. So she's like, hey, yeah, that Overlord should show his face or we're all gonna walk out. And am I right, guys? And Demon MC is not buying it. So so she's like,
what if
yeah, well,
I was the Overlord? Would that blow your mind?
I'm the Overlord.
I find that pretty hard to believe.
So they're like, yeah, well, where's your proof that you're the Overlord? Oh boy. But that's right when Mel and Maggie bust in and they're still invisible. And they start busting up chairs and tables and start a brawl. But like, why do they do this?
I don't know.
Do they know what's happening at this point? They don't know that she's claimed to be the Overlord. They just go in to start like busting they could just sneak in and like grab her and then get out.
Yeah.
Like, why do they do that?
At best, you'd have to say they were off in the corner somewhere listening and then decide to cause this ruckus to aid her.
Don't they bust the door open though?
They do.
Like they were outside?
Yeah, so it doesn't make a lot of sense.
And we saw how well Maggie fights, judging by how she hits the punching bag. I don't think she's doing too great in this melee.
Punches a table. Oh, I chipped a nail.
Harry orbs in like, yeah, I did it. And then immediately gets knocked over.
Yeah.
No luck, Harry.
Wow.
A real Leo moment.
Yeah.
They take advantage of the chaos to grab Layla, and they rescue her, making this the only person that they saved in this situation.
Yeah. We got one!
What was even the point of the girl that they hit with the car that died of the poison? Like, she just said what they already knew, that Layla was at this club they were already going to.
Yeah, I don't know. Just to make them feel bad about another one, I guess. Macy has like a or she's writing down all the people they didn't save, and then Harry comes in, he's like, well, let's add one to the win column, huh?
Remember your losses. Celebrate your victories, too. Thanks to you, Layla's back home.
Yeah, I did like, though, he was trying to be, supportive there. Like, let's focus on the wins
yeah,
here.
No, I thought it was genuinely good, too, but it was a little amusing. It's like, we'll put one. We got one. Come on.
Yeah, they don't have a great success rate.
Yeah.
And Macy is like, we need to think about these people as more than just lights on a switchboard. They had families and they had lives and they were, they meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this talk about Dark Harry, and Harry's like, well, sorry I didn't tell you about this. But this was the first time that I've truly felt scared about something. But, like, he's been to Tartarus at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, was this more scary than that?
Yeah, I thought he was, like, pretty terrified after that. So,
I don't know if that's true. This is the first time he was truly scared, but...
Yeah, that doesn't seem to really check out.
But they do talk about the fact that he needs to kind of find himself and his new identity after all of this stuff, because he's got less powers, he doesn't have all the White Lighters and the Elders, he's sort of, like, drifting, in life between what his purpose is now. So they're like, well, maybe you should start a business, or maybe you should do
You walk a
something.
lonely road.
The only road you've ever known. And he's like, maybe we should have a code word to make sure that it's really me and not this imposter. And Macy's like, nah, you just give me a look and I'll know.
Harry, I don't need a system.
Just a simple gesture.
Harry.
Or a code word.
Harry.
All I need is a look.
Yeah, she's like, I guess she's saying she can tell by looking in his eyes who he is. But it's like, okay, but again...
Oh, yes, this is terribly romantic, but seriously, we need a code word.
Yeah. And like, again, if the other thing is Harry from another time or dimension, he might have the same look in his eyes. So yeah, best to have a code word.
Yeah, I would really think so. He says the most cliched thing in any of these kinds of shows. That was even in one of the episodes that we had literally like just reviewed on Charmed Rewind. When he says, "I'm afraid there's a storm coming, Macy."
Well, I hope you're right. Because I'm afraid there's a storm coming, Macy.
Well, good thing they think we're dead. Cut to the ironic ending. Evil MC is looking at security cam footage that shows that the Charmed ones are alive.
Yeah. Who knew? Who knew they'd figure that out when you guys busted up their club and didn't look like different people at all?
Yeah, and they appeared like the invisibility stuff wore off so they could see them.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why they...
Uh-huh.
We didn't talk about something earlier. Clearly this is the most important thing. So, Maggie says she's moping over her ballerina music box, and she's like, this is part of the past. I should let it go. Like, it's like, thanks for the music box. I'm gonna throw it away. And now that I know it's from you, I'm throwing this away. And so she decides she's gonna put this application in a safe space. She's gonna move on, grow up, let go of the past, let go of the first season. They're moving on. Mm-hmm. And she goes and returns the first aid kit to Gym Boy Man, and asks why he's been so nice to her when she's been such a bitch. I guess I just find you formidable. So, the sparks are really flying there.
Oh yeah, totally invested in that shit.
That's it. Could you even tell me what the name of Gym Boy is?
No.
One season wonder.
I hope so.
God, if this gets a if this gets a third season, I should say a second season. If this gets a third season, but they shouldn't burn it to the ground again. Just write better stories and characters that we're invested in. It's not even the actors' fault. I mean, we haven't seen enough of them to know if they're any good, but like, just write them with some depth. It's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you like give them a purpose other than like meet cute scenes where you're setting up the romance. Like I hate it when they're just clearly there to be like romantic attachments with no other purpose.
It's kind of like how stupid Parker was first, and then they started doofing him up, and he was a bit more of an enjoyable character after that.
They did the same thing with Galvin. Galvin was very boring.
Yeah,
like we didn't care about him at all.
Yeah,
and then
it was such a turnaround
on
Galvin.
Yeah, they incorporated him into the story, gave him a personality, motivations, things to do. A lot of them involved Macy, but he still had like his own things going on that tied into what was happening, other than like before he was just having meet cutes with Macy, and it just was pointless. So maybe they can turn us around. Who knows? Who knows what this season will bring?
Mm-hmm.
Phelan, what did you think of this episode?
Like I said, it was a lot better in the premiere. I liked the Macy Harry stuff. For the most part, some of it was corny. Maggie's an idiot, and I don't know. The mall is stupid for the most part right now. I don't know if they're gonna turn me around on this mall.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The mall and the bunker stuff, I'm still not entirely sold on. But I mean, I agree. This was better than the first episode. I did like some of the character work in it. The stuff with the Demon Club was wonky, but like in a fun way.
Mm-hmm. I'll give them a little bit of credit.
It was
too.
Stupid, but it was funny.
I'll give a little bit of credit too for some of the Mel and Maggie stuff about their dad. Some of that wasn't bad. It was just Maggie annoys me so much when she's just being headstrong, selfish, because she does this too much as a character.
I think they need to do a better job of connecting everything to something, because clearly there was some like ongoing character stuff in this episode that they were trying to do as like a theme,
mm-hmm.
You know, like the growing up theme, and then like finding yourself and stuff like that. But I think maybe they need to go the route of the demons, the things they're fighting, whatever, as a metaphor for other things, and that way you can tie all of these things into it, you know, rather than having like just a demon club where they got to save someone. Though it was about like they want to save innocents and they care about people. Like I get it, that was the importance of that story, but I think, you know, whatever they're fighting needs to go with the theme of whatever they're trying to tell us in that particular episode, to cohesively pull things together, because it just felt like we were watching two separate shows.
I suppose. I mean, the A and B stories don't always need to directly relate to each other. But
that's true.
I mean, sometimes they should, though, but I didn't think that was the main problem, I guess, with this episode in particular.
What was the main problem?
That Maggie's just a dumb character half the time. Execution, there's a lot of weird questions too. We don't know like why the house works and all this stuff. I feel like if we're gonna settle them down in this one spot, I wish we knew a little bit better about what's going on. While they're doing this witness protection thing, like I wish we got a little bit more about the fact they just been uprooted and they lost a bunch of people supposedly in their life. I mean, they supposedly had all these friends who came to their party last episode.
The fact that people think that they're dead is like they get one scene to kind of feel weird about it, and then after that, whatever. Yeah, like she was like, oh, like the sorority is like they're holding a vigil for us.
Yeah.
All right, like did this
matter
to you? Like, did you have no other friends? Or
stupid
what
Maggie?
About like Nico? Nico thinks that she's dead now.
Yeah, and stupid Maggie would not shut up about the sorority last season. Like, and doesn't have that much to say about losing her entire college life now.
Yeah, like they really like that would be something that would be right after this happens, you need to go into that. But it just feels like they're brushing over stuff to focus on other things that are good themes to focus on, but it just feels like there's a lot of things that don't matter.
Yeah, and I don't mean like sideline all the magic and demon stuff for that, but it should have been at least a theme in the episode.
Yeah, you don't have to sideline things to talk about something. You can like weave stories within each other. That's fine. But it just doesn't feel that cohesive to me yet. It still feels like the pacing is better than it was last season. Like they were still only focusing on 2 stories basically, which was more like last season they were just like all over the place with so much happening. But it just I feel like it still needs to come together a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got for Charmed Hard with a Vengeance this week. If you guys liked what you were listening to, it'd be great if you could like the video or subscribe. Or if you're listening to this via audio, then it'd be great if you could give us a review. That'd be pretty cool. If you are just listening via audio, you can find us in video form at youtube.com/Movie Nights the Series or youtube.com/Phalus. If you were just watching this in the video, then you can find us in audio form at anchor.fm under Charmed Hard with a Vengeance or Charmed Rewind, depending on the time of year. If you would like to support us or get early access to stuff, you can find us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Movie Nights or Patreon.com/Phalus. Thank you to Peter Hunter for editing the podcast for us. And yeah, I think that's the plugs. What hashtags should we use, Phelan?
Hashtag disguised as yourself.
Hashtag trust no one, not even yourself. Hashtag Harry and Macy go to White Castle.
Yeah.
And we'll see you Charmanders next time. Bye!